Hi, good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is cube and cube roots. In last week we studied squares and square roots. So before starting our chapter, let us see one number, that is 1729. This number is known as Hardy Ramanujan number. So there is a story behind this number. So you know that who is Ramanujan? He is one of the greatest mathematicians in India. So one another mathematician, H.G. Hardy. So one day he visited Ramanujan. He came by one taxi. Okay, whenever these mathematicians meet each other, they will talk about numbers. So this Hardy told his taxi number, that number was 1729. This number is a dull number. Suddenly Ramanujan told, no, it is very interesting number because we can form this number as a sum of two cubes in two different ways. So let us see here 12 cube plus 1 cube, that is 1729, and 10 cube plus 9 cube, that also 1729. So this number is quite interesting because we can obtain this number by adding the sum of two cubes in two different ways. 12 cube plus 1 cube is 1729 and 10 cube plus 9 cube also 1729. That is why this number is known as Hardy Ramanujan number. Okay, so here today we are going to study about cubes. Do you know cube? In geometry you know that there is a solid shape. So it has all its sides are equal. Okay, so you have learned that how we can find the volume of a cube. So it's side into side into side. That means L into L. That is L cube. The same way we can find the cube of a number. So here we see 4 into 4 into 4. That is 4 cube. 4 is raised to the power of 3. 4 cube. That is 64. So the cube of 4 is 64. At the same time we know that is cube root also. How can we write cube root? So cube root. This is the symbol for cube root. We will read cube root of 64 equals 4. So 64 is the cube of 4 and 4 is the cube root of 64. So we have to know how can we identify these cube numbers, perfect cube numbers. How can we identify that? If it is not a cube number, how can we make into a cube number? Let us check that first. Now let us see how can we check a given number is a perfect cube or not. So I am taking one number here, 243. 243. So how can we check this number 243 a perfect cube or not? So for that we have to factorize this number. 243 can be factorized, prime factorization. So here the last digit is 3. Okay, let us try with 3. We know that 8 3s are 24, 1 3. Then again 3. How many times? 2. Then 21 7 times. Again 3. 9. Then again 3. 3. So when we factorize this 243, we are getting the factors 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. These are the factors. Okay, so you just check that how many 3's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we want to group this into triplets because a cube is obtained by multiplying a number by itself 3 times. Okay, so the factors also should be a group of 3 numbers, same factors. So here this is a triplet. So factors of 3 each. So here we can see that here this 3 is a triplet we got, but here 3 into 3 we have only 2 3's are here. It is not a triplet. That is why this 243 is not a perfect cube. So next we have to think, how can we make this 243 into a perfect cube? Which smallest number we have to multiply to this number to obtain a perfect cube? So here we know that already 2 3s are there. If we multiply this by one more 3, we can make it also one perfect cube. Just to see. Now here also we got one triplet. So here 3 cube into 3 cube. That equals 3 into 3 whole cube. 3 into 3 what? 9 cube. So 9's cube. How we got? We multiplied one more 3 here. So the same time here also we want to multiply. Okay. So 243 into 3. 3 3s are 9. 12, 7. 729 equals 9's cube. 9's cube is 729 and the cube root of 729 is 9. We got the root of 729. We got answer 9. Okay, and the cube of 9 is 729. Before we had taken number 243, we checked that is not a perfect cube because we could not make that into group of 3s or triplets. So here only 2 3s were there. We multiplied with one more 3 and at the same time we multiplied with this number also. So we got the cube of that number. Okay, so when we get the cube, then we can find the cube root also. Okay, now let us check one another number. 3645. First we check that it is a perfect cube or not. If it is not a perfect cube, by which number we have to divide this number to get a perfect cube? Which is smallest number we have to use for dividing this number to make that into a perfect cube. For this also we have to factorize that number 3645. Factorization. So here last digit is 5, 3, 6. Okay, you can divide this by 3 also. 1 3s are 3, 2 3s are 6, 1 3s are 3, 15, 5. Then again by 3. 4 3s are 12. It will not go. Then 5. Then again by 3. 1 in 10. 3 times in 15. 5. Again by 3. 4 in 15. 5. Again by 3. 1, 5. Again by 3. 5. Okay. So this is the way to factorize it. So 3645 equals 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 5. So these are the factors. So now you just group these factors into triplets. So here we got one triplet, one another triplet we got. This 5 is alone. That is why this number is not a perfect cube. So what do we want to do? We have to divide. We want to get rid of this 5. We want to avoid this 5 to make this into a perfect cube. So 3645 divided by 5. At the same time here 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 5 divided by 5. This 5 cancel here. 7 5s are 35. 2 45. 9. 729 equals. So here 5 has gone. That is why one triplet and another triplet. 3 cube into 3 cube, that is 3 into 3 whole cube, that equals 9 cube. Okay, now we got a perfect cube 729 by dividing this number by 5. Okay, so the 5 is the smallest number that can be divided this number to obtain a perfect cube. Okay, now let us see how can we find the cube root of a number. When we find the square root, we use some methods, different methods. But here we have only one method that we are learning this year. And one another method also the order estimation. That is not accurate still. Now the first method for finding the cube root of a number, that is prime factorization. So let us see one number. 3375. 3375. So how can we find the cube root of that? By using prime factorization. So here we can factorize this by 3. 1, 1, 2, 5. Then again by 3. 3 3s are 9. Then 22, 7, 5. Then again by 3. 1, 2, 5. Then this can be, we cannot divide this by 3, so we can divide this by 5. 2, 5, 5, 5. So here the factors are 3 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 5 into 5. Now, as I told you, we have to make this into, group this into triplets. So here 3 into 3 into 3, 3 cube. 5 into 5 into 5, 5 cube. Okay, so 3 into 5 all cube, that is 15 cube. Okay, so the cube root of this number, cube root, you have to write like this, that equals 15. Okay, cube root is 15. Okay, so cube of 15 is 3375. Cube root of 3375 is 15. So the prime factorization method, you know that how to factorize and make that into triplets. Then 3 is one triplet you got, 5 is one triplet, 3 into 5, 15, you will get answer. Okay, so this is the method that can be used for finding cube root of a number. Okay, let us study one another method for finding cube root, that is estimate. Estimation. That is estimating a value. Actually, it is not a proper method, and we are just assuming and estimating that and finding a value. It is not accurate. It may not be clear always. We will not get the exact answer sometimes. Okay, so here the first step is that we have to make this into groups of 3 digits. So here this is a number. So 375 and 857. Now we can make this into 2 groups. So when we use that perfect squares, we use the 2 digit each. So here 3 digit each. So we are getting 2 numbers, that is in 2 groups of 3 digits. This 375 will decide our answers first digit. That means ones place digit. We can assume from the last 3 digit of this number. Okay, just to see the last digit of ones place of this number is 5. So we know that the cube root also, the last digit, ones place digit will be 5. Because 5 into 5 into 5, the answer will be 125, the last digit is 5. Okay, so we got the ones place here. Then tens place number, how can we find? This 857. 857 will come between 2 cube numbers. 2 cube perfect cube numbers, in between that it will come. So we know that 729, it is 9's cube. And 1000, it is 10's cube. So this 857 will come in between this 729 and 1000. These 2 perfect cubes are there. This number will come in between that. So it can be 9. We have to take the smallest number here, 9 cube. So we have to assume that the tens place number will be 9. So our answer, the cube root of 8,57,375 equals 95. We are assuming that, we are estimating that. You can multiply and you will get this answer. Okay, so first of all we are separating this into 3 digit each, 3 cube groups we are making. The last digit, the last section will give the ones place digit. So you have to see the last digit of that number and which number will come as a chance. So the last digit is 5, that is why the cube roots, the last digit also will be 5. Then you see this number 857. This will come in between two perfect cubes, that is 9's cube and 10's cube. So we have to take the smallest number here as 9 as the 10th digit number and write this answer. So there are two exercises in your textbook. I had solved in your notes one or two questions from each exercise. Remaining questions you do as homework. And the next week you have your second term examination. So there is objective type questions. So you have to go through all notes, all the textbooks chapters, and at the same time you have to watch videos also. Some important points that I mentioned in the video also will be included in the syllabus. Okay, so all of you prepare well and attend exam proper.